Hello everybody, Namaskar, Namaste. Well, this is Bobby Chakraborty here once more. A lot is still left to do, a lot is still left to be said, but we don't have much time in our hands. অনেক কিছু করা বাকি, অনেক কিছু বলা বাকি, কিন্তু হাতে সময় বড্ড কম. So today I'm going to tell you about a person, a very special person in my life. I address him by he is the youngest soldier of my army, though he passed away recently, nearly at the age of 90, but still I call him the youngest because of his energy, because of his enthusiasm, and the child that he was at heart. This is sort of a tribute to that person, to that man, to that gentleman. His name was Mr. Nitai Naskar, late Mr. Nitai Naskar. He was a retired principal of Teghariya Vidyapith. This is a school in Sonarpur. As you approach the Sonarpur station, this is a school, a government sponsored school where I conducted my first anti-addiction campaign in that school, in that particular school, many years back. I think it's on 2012. So nearly 14-15 years back. By that time, Mr. Nitai Naskar, Nitai sir, was retired, was a retired headmaster of that school, HM of that school. But because I was coming to that school with my anti-addiction campaign, and once more, just a little summary of my anti-addiction campaign for those who do not know, though I'll give all the description of my campaign, of my awareness program in the description. Please search the description, you will find my email ID also, through which you can contact me. It's bobbymobil2001@yahoo.com, bobbymobile2001@yahoo.com, and all the description and everything that you would want to know will be in the description about this campaign of mine. So this is basically an awareness program for the youth. If it's happening in a school, it's for class 7 upwards, though many schools, many schools, they ask me to conduct this particular program even for the 4th grader, 5th grader, 6th graders. As you know, these vices of smoking, alcoholism, the misuse of smartphones, bullying, ragging, abusive language, dangers of online gaming, gambling through online gaming, this is no more a problem for only the teenagers or the 8th, 9th, 10th graders. The smartphone, as we say, is in the hands of a kindergarten student. So my preventive awareness program, which is called I Am the King of My Mind, is an effort to create an awareness in a young mind, in a child's mind, as early as possible, because we all know once these monsters, the smoking, alcoholism, other substance abuse, and the addiction towards smartphone and all the evils that come through the smartphone inside a young mind or inside a human brain, if we can always try, and I've been doing this for the last 20 years, nearly 20 years, 2 decades. Magic happens if we address this at the earliest. So it's a 3-hour awareness program. I ask the schools and colleges to set aside 3 hours. I always request the head of the institution to give me a call once the head of the institution communicates with me via mail through that email ID which I mentioned, bobbymobile2001@yahoo.com, And I absolutely love it when the head of the institution calls me up or communicates with me directly without any via media. It's like the idea that I have. See, I'm not asking any favors from anybody. It's free of cost. So nobody is doing no favor to me. I'm asking no favors from nobody. If at all somebody collaborates with me, I would like to think, I think you will agree also, I would like to think that we both are collaborating for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the youth, our future, the next generation. And what is the society? The society is like a house which has many rooms. The rooms have many walls. The walls have many bricks. We are those bricks. And the age that we have reached, the grown-ups, we have gone to the second story, third story, fourth story of that house. But the base, the platform on which the house is standing, the bricks of that platform, the base of that house is the youth, or are the youth. So if that base, if that platform, that is destroyed, the whole house crumbles. So this is the thought that I have in my mind about society and about my social responsibility, which my parents and my school, they have taught me. And I would like to think, I think anybody with an iota of social responsibility within him or her will agree with me that it's not only the responsibility of Bobby Chakraborty to go out there and spread this awareness. Again, I must remind again, I do this without asking any money from anybody. It's free of cost. So nobody is doing. If my mail has reached you, if my message has reached you, I'm asking you no favor. And if you collaborate with me, you are doing me no favor. So I'm very happy. I feel very happy when the head of the institution calls me up without, there are many times where the employees call me up and the head of the institution won't want to talk with me directly. I don't know why. Because the idea about this program should be understood through me directly to the head of the institution instead of other sources. I don't know how, because I have faced a lot of problems. And one more thing, I always feel that if I'm coming down to your school, your college, I'm a guest at your home. So if I'm inviting a guest, I see it in this way. If I'm inviting a guest who is asking no favors from you, instead he is doing a favor, I would like to call up the guest personally instead of the employees in my house, and I would not ask the employees in my house to call up that guest and invite the guest. So anyway, so when I went to that school, Teghariya Vidyapith, 14-15 years back, for my first anti-addiction campaign in that particular school, Mr. Nitai Naskar, or Nitai sir, who had already retired by that time, he was also invited. The present principal or the present headmaster invited Nitai sir because he was a very popular teacher and a popular headmaster who had served in that school for many years. And he was a popular person and a popular teacher and a respected and revered person in the locality, the Shonarpur, the 24 Parganas South, that area. So he was also invited. So on that first day, I introduced myself to everybody and everybody was introduced to me. Not in particular Mr. Nitai Naskar, but he was there throughout the session and he observed everything throughout the session. He was there right from the first till the end. And when I came back, when I reached home at night, I got a call from Nitai sir. He had acquired my number from the headmaster and he was very emotional about what he saw. And he said that, quote unquote, that Bobby, may I call you Bobby? Yes sir, of course, you're like my father, you're my father's age, a bit elder to my father, but my father's age. So he said that, Bobby, there are very few people who are as socially responsible as you are, and the points or the agenda of this particular awareness program is so, it's so needed, so necessary in today's times, so pertinent in today's times, because there are families after families after families boys and girls, men and women, they are getting destroyed by all of this, the smoking, alcoholism, smartphone abuse, etc., etc. And the youth in totality, they have become corrupted physically and mentally. And there is this dark force in the society who are trying their best to corrupt the youth, corrupt the base of that house. So they are making sure that the youth is totally destroyed through all these avenues. And you're doing a fantastic job, and I was mesmerized by the way you kept every student hooked on to you in all these 3 hours, because I know as a teacher how difficult it is to garner the attention of the students even for 10 minutes. They are so restless, so distracted, so naughty. But you kept them hooked on. They are silent and they are participating. They are so enthusiastic in everything that you are saying. They are interacting with you. They are confessing. They are becoming emotional. They are promising that they will not commit the mistakes to a stranger. I am a stranger. So he was overwhelmed by what he saw. So he said that, Bobby, I want to help you in this particular mission of yours. Here I must tell you all something. আপনাদের কিছু বলতে চাই. I have been doing this for the last 2 decades. This particular mission is out of a personal loss in my family. I've lost somebody very near to me out of this addiction, and my family is a broken family. It's totally destroyed because of that one person, because of this addiction, because of the wrong company that he kept, because of everything that he did do, he did, because of that one person. One person doesn't die, he kills everybody around him or her. So it is out of that nightmarish childhood that I had, I took an oath. I told God, I requested God, I prayed to God that if I am visible through my profession when I grow up, I will use that visibility, I will use that popularity, I will use that platform in spreading this awareness and try to save as many families as I can from these monsters of smoking, alcoholism, substance abuse, etc., etc., etc. And God gave me that opportunity through my profession as an actor. And when people started recognizing me back in 2007, 6, 7, I grabbed that opportunity to do something good for the society, to give back to the society, which very few people do. And I'm not being sarcastic, I'm not being metaphoric. This is an experience that I had in the past 20 years that I'm doing this particular work, this particular awareness program, not for money, not for any material gains, but to give back to the society. And to find like-minded person is very difficult. That's my experience. I have met 80% of the people. Listen to me very carefully, please. I have met 80% of the people, whether they are educators, whether they are politicians, whether they are people at power, any profession, who hold that power, hold that the quality in them through which they can spread this awareness, collaborating with me. So 80% of them, either they didn't find this important, or they themselves are entangled in all of these monsters. So there is another person within that person who is telling, do not collaborate with Bobby, because that person is already entangled by the monsters, is already a slave of those monsters. So 80%, that's a huge number. They don't answer my mails, they don't check my messages, they don't reply to my messages, they are rude, they are ill-mannered, they don't understand, absolutely they don't understand why I am doing this. They think that they are doing a favor to me, or I am asking a favor to them, which is not. No favors asked. You can give me nothing. I don't want anything from you. So 80% of them. So you can understand how difficult it is to fight against the popular beliefs, because these are all popular beliefs. You know for sure. These are all popular beliefs in the society, and somebody fighting against those popular beliefs, it's a very tough job. Without any material gains, without forming any kind of NGO and all of these, these are all business propositions. NGOs and etc. etc. I don't want to make this a business proposition. So 80% of them are that, who are totally non-cooperative. 10% I've met, I've come across, who are like-minded, who are like me, who wants to give back to the society, and I have formed a strong bond with those educators, those administrators, principals, politicians, schools, colleges, universities, all around the world. There are only 10%. The next 8%, and all of these data are my calculations, in all these 20 years. I'm a very statistical person. So I believe in statistics, and I believe in histograms, and I believe in graphs. So 8%, they are like-minded. So the 80% are non-cooperative. They turn a blind eye to everything that is happening around them. They live in a la-la land. They are in a denial mode, or they would not like to address this. For them, the business of their school, their college, their university, etc., that is very important. They think that if they address this, there will be a black mark on their institution, which is so foolish. So foolish. As an educator, as a politician, as an administrator, as a person of power, it's imperative that you fight against these evils for the betterment of the children, for the betterment of the youth. That is why God has given you that position. But all you are concerned about is your money and your business and everything. So that has made what the society is all around. Why is the society filled with darkness? Why is the youth in such a degenerative state? Because of people like y'all, the 80% who don't care to give back anything to the society, who only think about their own material gains. But that is not the way to sustain, to survive in a society. You have to give back, because you live in that house also, and when that house crumbles, you will also perish. You think you are living in a glass house and protected. No, that the house crumbles, you die too, you perish too. So anyway, the 80% and the 10% who are like-minded, the next 8%, they are very strange. They would like to collaborate with me. They would in a very colorful way, in a very appreciative way, they say, Bobby, you're doing fantastic job, and yes, I should collaborate with you, but they keep it under wraps. Meaning, if you have followed me right from the word go, right from the start, if you do a research, you will see very strangely, I find it very funny and very interesting. A school, a college, a university, they would be very appreciative about this. They would invite me, and they are very nice people, and they are very everything, and but they would want to keep it under wraps. Nowhere in their social media page, or on their website, or anywhere apart from that poster, which I make it mandatory for them to announce this program that I'm coming down to their school, colleges and university. Apart from that, there is nothing. Even, let me tell you, suppose in a very recent incident, I'd been to a school. There are many schools, you can check for yourself. There is nothing in their website, nothing in their social media page, whereas each and every day something comes up in the social media pages, in their website. Each and every small event is portrayed or publicized or whatever. But this particular thing, but they are very appreciative about it, but they wouldn't want to, somehow it's very strange, they won't want the world to know that this program happened in the institution. How strange is that? How strange is that? So there's a recent school that I went to. So My program is in the first half, and on that same auditorium there is another program that was to happen in the second half. So a parent writes to me that I heard from my child, that mails me, I heard from my child that that this is there, and Bobby Dada came to my school and heard the idea and everything that has happened within the program, and sir, you are doing a fantastic job. This is so needed. It's a necessity for a child. There are many things which they don't confess to us, and I heard that there are so many confessions and so many things that are coming up, so many points of discussions that comes up in your, and it's also fun. But I would want some pictures from you, because I don't see any photos on the school social media page. By that time I didn't, the photos that I have with me, and they were not edited and they were not ready. So because she said that the mother is saying that I don't find any pictures of your program, though there is another program that happened on that same day. That program is there, and the pictures of that program is there up on the social media page, which happened after me. So there you have it. They don't want to. Why they don't want to? Yet they are very appreciative. These are not those 80%. They don't fall on, within that 80% where they don't want to support it. Whether they are very dismissive about it. They are supporting it. They support it. Yet they don't want anybody to know. Even when I'm asking them to make the posters, I can feel that, oh God, this poster will be up on my social media page, and what the people will think. Oh God. It's such a foolish thought that they will think that all the children in my school, in my colleges, in my universities are into all of this. Where are you existing? Which la la land are you existing? It's everywhere. Why can't you accept that fact? And it's such a need of the hour. And if y'all don't come forward, educators don't come forward, administrators don't come forward, politicians at power, y'all don't come forward, who is going to save the society? Nobody cares. You can see all around that 10% of the educators, administrators, politicians, whoever, people at power, they are the minority. They are the minority. And the remaining 2% are absolutely stoic. I don't know whether they are dismissive, whether they are supportive. Absolutely, I found no reactions from them till date. See, my mails and my messages, they have reached each and every school and college and university. I make it a point. I have a huge database. I make it a point to send it to all the schools, colleges. Of course, in West Bengal, Kolkata, it's my own state. It has gone to every school, college, university, of course, for years, repetition after repetition, and in all the schools, colleges, universities all around India and even the world. I've been personally to so many schools, so many colleges, so many universities. I could have lived my life very comfortably, I could have lived my life very comfortably. I'm an actor, and there was no need to go to a certain school and sit there in the office like a fool, and nobody is calling me up, and when I enter, and when the person in front of me not even asking me to sit. That's why I say, it's a very interesting observation that I have. That's why I say money and power and designation, these corrupts a person inside out. Corrupts in the sense that it kills the ambition inside a person to give back to the society. The social responsibility dies with money, with power, with designation. That money, that designation, that power makes that person foolish here. Why foolish? Because that person doesn't realize that money, that power, that designation is do din ki baat. Somebody is going to take that money out of you. You will not exist forever. At the end of the day, you will be a body number or a coffin number in the graveyard or the crematorium. This chair that you think you are the monarch, the king or queen or whatever, when you get out of that chair, nobody will remember you in the next 10, 20, 30 years. No one will remember. No one will know who you are. Maybe they will know if you can give back to the society, if you have behaved well with a person, if you have given something good back to the society. Good manners and good behavior, that is all that we can have in between us. What is this pride and what is this ahankar? किस बात की अहंकार? क्या लेके जाओगे? क्या लेके आए थे? कुछ नहीं. But you know that money, designation, power makes a person a fool. When this person is speaking to me like this and I'm standing and I'm thinking that God, maybe he's not recognizing me. Okay, that's fine. But whatever it is, you should ask the person to sit at least. वो भी नहीं है. I feel it very interesting. You know, these 20 years have made me such a master of studying the psychology of people. There are people who, you know, very slyly, very cunningly, I absolutely find it very interesting. Why do they do this? When they put up the poster of my, there are, you know, instructions how that poster has to be made. Very, very strict instructions. So there is one part of that poster, all the teachers and administrators and principals who have, you know, collaborated with me, they know there is a last part of that poster, the part that is below, which says very clearly that it's a free of cost awareness program against all kinds of addiction and harmful social trends. Very recently, or many a times it has happened, they cut off that free of cost part. Why? I'm doing it with my money, with my emotions, with my time, with my initiative, with my petrol. Why would you want to cut off that free of cost part? Why? Is there any ulterior motives that you have? You didn't even discuss with me. Why do you want to do all of this? Needless to say, those programs, those collaborations didn't happen, and I cancelled the programs. I cancelled that collaboration. But I've met so many interesting people, where the coordinator of the school is calling me. It's a school in megacity. The coordinator of the school is telling me, her name was Shubhasri ma'am, that, sir, Mr. Chakraborty, you're doing a fantastic job and I want this to happen in my school. You please come down and meet our principal, because I think that I have not been able to convince her and she wants to meet you face to face. Because as I told you, these people, they don't want to address it and they are very, very touchy. They think these are alien concepts. Cigarette, alcohol, smartphone, pornography, etc. They are all in the household. A boy or a girl, a child doesn't have to go outside to college, to university, to class 10, class 12 to get these in front of him or her. And these people are in a denial mode. So Shubhasri ma'am tells me that you must come down, please come down and meet the principal. I'm like, yes, of course I'll come down. I went and met the principal, and the principal was very rude, very cold, and didn't even understand that nobody's doing any favor to me. But all the while I was speaking with the principal, I got that vibe that I'm doing a favor to you and I don't want to do this favor to you, this kind of a vibe. And the program didn't happen. Where the coordinator is wanting, the coordinator couldn't convince the principal. It has been 20 years, nearly 20 years, but I still keep on sending mails to that school and messages to that school. I still keep on. You may say that, why do you do it? My mother says, why do you do it? तुमको कोई शर्म नहीं है? अरे नहीं, इस काम के लिए मेरे को कोई शर्म नहीं है. I'm not doing this work for that particular principal or administrator or whoever. I'm doing it for the children. I'm doing it for the society. That's what Mr. Bagul used to say. He was the ex-principal of South City International. He always used to say, he was like a father figure to me. He always used to say that, Bobby, don't feel bad for such people. You're doing it for the society. You're doing it for the children. So coming back to Mr. Nitai Naskar once more. So he said that, Bobby, I will take this awareness program of yours to all the schools that I know, which I keep requesting to all the schools that I go to all the principals and administrators that I meet, who are appreciative, who are collaborating with me, but very few people do that. Very few people do that. So what he did, cutting things short, what he did in the next 10 years, 14 years that I had collaborated with him and I knew him, 14-15 years, he personally went to all these government schools that he knew of, especially in 24 Parganas South, to all those government schools, very rural schools, where I had a tough time reaching that school. But he did that, he made that happen. How many principals, how many headmasters, headmistresses, teachers, coordinators, administrators, politicians, people in power do that? Nobody. 80% jeta bollam, those 80%, hardly anybody comes forward to do something for the society without money in their mind. Ye baat, this should be noted. Agar paisa ho, to aate hain sab, you're getting something back. Agar isme paisa na ho, they don't want to come forward, they don't want to address these issues, they want to be in a denial mode. But Nitai sir, to my calculations, nearly 50 schools he has taken me to 50 schools, 50 government sponsored schools. And government sponsored schools are very difficult, because again, as I was speaking, the employees of those schools, the headmasters, whoever, they are the highly paid government officials, government employees. They have the social responsibility in them has been totally killed. They don't care about all of this. It's very difficult. It's a monstrous job. Let me tell you, even the central government schools and the state government schools, it's a monstrous job. They don't check the mails and they don't understand. They don't try to understand. Even if you call up somebody on phone, they don't even. But Nitai sir, Mr. Nitai Naskar, a retired person of 72 years of age at that time, he did that, and he went with me to each and every school. Every school that I used to go, I used to pick him up from Sonarpur, and then I used to go Barupur, Sonarpur, Canning, wherever. The question is, you have to think, Mr. Nitai Naskar, why did I bring up Mr. Nitai Naskar is, he can be a mirror to y'all, the socially irresponsible people. Mr. Nitai Naskar can be mirror to y'all. So such people exist, and you don't lose anything. Again, you are doing no favor to me if you collaborate with me, if you spread the word that this is happening. You are doing no favor to me. আমার কোনো উপকার করছেন না আপনারা। Mr. Nitai Naskar, that's why I call him a soldier, the youngest soldier. The energy that he had, the passion that he had, the social responsibility that he had. Amazing. I thank all the people in the press who have written about Mr. Nitai Naskar after he passed away. Everybody, all the journalists, all the editors of the press fraternity, my friends, you all have been so kind. I think he somewhere up there, he was very happy, because I wanted to give him a tribute, because these kinds of people are very, very rare, and I wanted to give him a tribute. And everybody in the media who helped me, who found him important, these people, such people in the society should be highlighted, because the society by and large are filled with corrupted people, filled with people who have no contribution to the society. They are being highlighted, who are doing nothing for the society, who are doing harm to the society. They are being highlighted. And today I thought that I must make this video in a verbal form or a format. I must give this tribute to Nitai sir, who is up there definitely with my father also. And I seek your blessings, sir, and I hope someday I'll definitely meet you. You bless me as you have always blessed me, so that I am strong enough to fight against all these socially responsible people who do not think about the society, who do not want to give back to the society. Give me more power, give me more strength, and you rest in peace. Thank you.